show of hands, how many of you have time to exercise? Yeah, no, probably not much at all because you're busy studying, right? I've done a podcast, and I'll share some of that information with you here in a little bit. And it was on the RAC in Morgantown, West Virginia. Did you ever hear about the RAC? How many here have heard about the RAC? Oh, a lot of you have. So for those of you who have not heard about the RAC, it's for
Sorry that I'm not here in person as I would have liked to have been, and also excuse me if I mess up sharing my screen because I'm not the best with Zoom. I do my best. I don't get to do this all as often as our teachers do. But hi, if you don't know me already, I'm Sarah. I'm the SNA Vice President. I get to do a lot of cool stuff with Christy, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys today. So I'm going to try to pull up my PowerPoint. Hopefully it works. Oh yeah, I actually did it right this time. So hopefully I apologize in advance if I go over anything that Christy already said and if I'm redundant because I couldn't hear anything you guys already talked about just because of Zoom right now. So I'm just talking a little bit about some healthy habits and for eating specifically in nursing school. So, starting off, your own personal health is really important in nursing school, specifically a rigorous program like this one. Um, we have to be healthy ourselves to care for others, and this is going to be important in your career later on. Also, I'm not yet in my own career, I'm a senior nursing student, but I know this is going to be important for myself later. So, you're starting to see this now, I'm sure, that there are long days and nights where you're gonna have difficulty trying to find the capacity to make that good, healthy decision. You're gonna be like, okay, well, can I go through the drive-through, or am I gonna have time to cook a good meal? It takes a lot of energy out of you to pre-plan. It's gonna be a lot of time sitting on your couch or your desk, trying to find the right interventions for your patient. So um, it's a lot of adaptation. So that's why we're trying to help you guys out. It's a great time, I think, personally, to talk to you guys and try to help you learn some good ways and good habits to help you manage the whole new kind of way of college because it's a little different than other programs, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people will agree with me. So, these are some things that I think most people who are in this program will agree with me about that will help you to have a healthier eating habits, healthier lifestyle while you're nursing. So I always say, and Christy always says, eat before clinical, eat before sim lab, eat before you go to your lectures. Breakfast is important no matter what. Christy can tell you tons of horror stories of students passing out, people getting low blood sugar, getting sick. It is so important to get the good base in your stomach. You see some stuff that might make you sick. I'm sure we could all tell you stories about that. So it's very important. You have to get that good, healthy stuff in your belly before you go. I think it's really important that you have good pre-packaged or pre-portioned snacks for yourself before you get working. So I think this kind of prevents that never-ending bag of chips that you keep grabbing at whenever you're studying or working. Like for instance, I can remember my freshman year just sitting on my couch, not my freshman year, my sophomore year, beginning, first time pre-planning, sitting on my couch in my apartment, and I would start just kind of going through my nursing diagnosis book, trying to figure it out, and I had my one hand in my book and my other hand in a bag of Lay's, and just kept pulling out those Lay's. So if I had one smaller bag of maybe like the grapes, like a little bag of grapes that I already pre-portioned out, or a little bag of Lay's even if I wanted Lay's, that helps you keep your portion size consistent. So you're not going overboard and you're keeping your calories in a good portion size. Also, limiting fast foods to a treat portion. So like, okay, so I know this is hard for a lot of people, especially because you're in an HSC a lot, but Chick-fil-A's right there. That's the big one for me. I always want to go to Chick-fil-A. Everybody's like, oh, let's go to Chick-fil-A. Especially whenever you're there more often. I know it's a little different right now because we're not in person that often, but maybe make it more of a, oh, I'm only gonna go to Chick-fil-A once every 2 weeks or once a week if that's harder for you. Or maybe once a month if you're really, really dedicated to that. Also, just remembering that sugary drinks add up calories, especially that large sweet tea. Those are like, this could be like almost 300 calories. The big thing. Also, meal prepping for your long shifts, or if you're working, or your long nights and weeks that you're really busy on. I think those are really important. So there's a lot of good methods and tactics that you can use to help you track and keep in like mind what you're eating and what you're putting in your body. So MyFitnessPal is one that I always recommend to people. It's really helpful. You know, you can just keep track of your calories. If there's different goals you can have, if you need to gain weight for some reason, if you're trying to lose weight or just maintain weight, it's really good to keep mindful of what kind of things you're putting in your body. You can even look at your macronutrients, so you can see how much protein or carbs, fats, those kind of things. MyPlate, I know Christy touched on this already. You can kind of see what kinds of servings of different things you need to have, so like your fruits and your vegetables, your grains, proteins. I know we definitely, I mean, for myself personally, I never get enough fruits and vegetables. And you might think you're getting a lot more than you actually are, so really gotta be mindful of that. If you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, also both those applications come with a component that helps you track your meals and your calories, and will help you see how you can adjust your calorie count based on how much exercise you've done. So you might earn some more calories for how much you have set for yourself based on how much exercise you've done in the day. So other than that, if you don't know about the rack already, I think Christy's already done some education for you guys about this. I don't know if you heard her cool podcast that she did, talking to people at the rack, but it's a campus-based food pantry. It's for students specifically, so it's for us. No matter who you are or your financial background, you can go to the rack and pick up whatever you need. You can even just stop in for a snack if you want a Pop-Tart or whatever you want or need. There's a location in Blair. They usually have a location in Arnold, but it's currently closed. Everybody knows what's going on there for COVID. There's also another location at HSC, but it's Rack 2. It's not currently associated with the rack, but they're actually looking to maybe get partnered up with them sometime in the future, which would be really cool. But you can also stop at the other rack 2. And yeah, like I said, there's no requirements to use their services at all. You can just walk right in. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that whenever I share my videos. So the thing that I have here today is here's myself making a recipe. I cooked up some chicken pesto pasta, and I just wanted to share a healthy recipe, and it's long. I hope it's not too terribly long. It's probably about 15 minutes long. This is a healthy recipe. It's about 500 calories per serving that you could easily cook up for yourself. I wanted to do something that you could easily cook up in your apartment or dorm if you have a kitchen. Just to teach you guys an easy recipe. It didn't take me that long, 15 minutes, really, and that's not counting boiling the pasta, but that's also pretty easy if you have pre-boiled pasta. Also wanted to highlight, you could pick up these ingredients at the rack, or they're also pretty inexpensive ingredients. So I'm just gonna play the video and you can enjoy my awkwardness, so.
Hello everybody, and welcome to our Lunch and Learn today. I'm Sarah King, our SNA Vice President, and today I have the task of teaching you guys a healthy and easy recipe that you guys can make at home, at your apartment, or if you have a, if you're still in a dorm, if you have a kitchen. So I thought that I would come up with a recipe that I like to cook and that you could use some ingredients that you can pick up that are inexpensive, or you can even go to the rack and get. So my recipe today is already boiled some penne noodles, and they're all right here. So I have them in my pot. And then I also have this little jar of pesto, and it's from Barilla, so it's non-perishable. You can keep it in your cabinet. My cabinet is open, sorry about that. And I have some Parmesan cheese that you keep in the fridge or the cabinet, depending on when you open it. Just some seasonings for my chicken. And all those over there. Some pan spray for my pan. And I have a slice of chicken breast. Actually, like 2 slices of chicken breast, but they're thin cut chicken cutlets. So I picked those up at Kroger, and they were pretty inexpensive. So if you don't know a lot about the rack, usually they do have a part of the pantry down at Arnold Hall that does non-perishable food items, but unfortunately, right now, due to the pandemic, we know that everybody who does end up with COVID has the option of going to stay at Arnold if they do so choose to. So they don't have that right now, but still, if you don't know already, no matter who you are, or what your financial status is, you can go to the rack and pick up any kind of food you might need. So let's get started. I am ready to take my chicken and I'm going to season it up. So I'm going to throw it in my pan, and it might be hot already just because of I boiled my pasta over the same burner, and I often have that happen or it won't cool down. So I'm going to take my salt. And the great thing about seasoning are that they give you lots of flavor without the calories. So repeat breathing for this too. Obviously, for someone who's got hypertension or anything like that, we want to complement who's off the salt. So maybe offer them something that's like a low salt seasoning. So maybe onion powder. So obviously, we can check and see if it's sodium free. So this one doesn't have any. Those can be a good option for someone who's hypertensive or has anything, any condition like that might raise their sodium and cause them to have any kind of condition. What am I looking for? Sorry, I'm gonna ramble. I like garlic salt, and apparently it was in my lid, which is not why. This is my first time doing a cooking show. I'm having fun. Garlic salt. Just season it up. So you want it to be flavorful. And I know it would taste, I mean, we all love the taste of fried chicken. Most people, I think, do like the taste of fried chicken. But I don't have all the calories for that whenever I'm tracking my calories and trying to stay healthy. So I think it's better just to season. So I'm gonna set this down here, prevent my cross-contamination throughout my kitchen. Because we all know chicken can be gross. Alright, I'm rambling. Salt. What am I missing? Onion powder. Really like onion powder. And of course, sugar. I'm not used to cooking with electric. I'm from a home that always used gas, so I've recently moved here and I'm not used to it yet. So hopefully I won't burn anything. I don't think I will, but I'll try my best not to. So, I think this is great that you guys come today, especially because you guys are sophomores, and whenever I was a sophomore, it was my first time living on my own completely. Actually, I didn't have any roommates, and I came to live here where I am now, and I had to cook for myself for the first time. It was scary because I'm like, well, what do I do? And I found myself having to learn how to be an adult for real and cook and be healthy. And it was hard for me. I'm like, well, do I go to Chipotle every day? And that doesn't work for me financially. So I learned how to coupon and go to Kroger. And how to not buy things that I wasn't going to eat. So my chicken's starting to sizzle, and I'm gonna keep an eye on it. The biggest thing for your chicken, you want it to be cooked thoroughly, no salmonella, and yeah, you can't have any pink chicken. I'm sure you know this. It smells really good because of all the seasonings I put on it. Just gonna let it go until it's cooked. I didn't want to have you sit through my boiling water, so I thought I could let you sit through my chicken cooking. Unfortunately, I hope it didn't take too long. Also, Kroger is really awesome with everything. They have allowed the SNA to team up with us with Kroger, and you can link your Kroger card if you have one. They will